Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord. Link in the description below. If you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. On this episode of All About the Orville comments, where we go back and read the comments from the previous episode, and we're up to episode 12, Sanctuary, and a lot of fun stuff in this episode. There's a lot of good comedy. People really liked it. For the most part, the comments are positive. Not a lot of division here. I think everyone can enjoy this episode for a whole bunch of different aspects. But we always start with the very top comment, and then we work our way down. And our first one is Zeman Fidel. Oh, she speaks the might of 100 soldiers. Oh, yeah, I guess she does. This is the voice of our revolution. You know, there's a whole bunch of other... No, it is she. Okay, go Dolly. The fact that it just so much of how the Mocklins are, they find something they enjoy or like, or especially with music or with literature, and that they go whole hog.
Oh yeah, that's what makes them funny. Like I said before, you could see that in Boris, so that was established that they're like that. They just go all
because
out.
He watched the story Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it like blew his mind.
Yeah, he thinks they're puppies, and that really happened. That's so funny.
He used that. What was to hold him down? He used it as his strength. Yes, that is the message, but you're taking it to the next level. Just like the song 9 to 5 is about a woman fighting for like her rights kind of in the workplace and being treated equally, and she took it to meaning equality for everyone. I guess it can mean that you're taking it to the next level, but that's what makes the show so enduring and so makes you smile. Yep. No one heard that and saw her response to that song, and it's it's beautiful in its own thing because it inspired her so much. Yeah,
if you strip away all the meaning of all the because we know what the movie's about and everything, and the song's based on. It is a good message. Yeah. It's a positive message.
Izzy's mom won. I feel like Clyden is zealous or jealous because of his own insecurities after being born a female. I think he might be one of those kind of self-hating kind of situations.
We said. I think when we watched the episode, I said I think he is self-hating.
Because at first, maybe he's being quote unquote patriotic to his his ways, his old styles. But my goodness, he goes out of his effing way to really screw people over. Yeah, and that will have no effect on him. These people would go live their lives on this planet, and it would not affect you in any way. I can't have it. I gotta do something about it.
It's at some point, like I said, where the Mocklin's way is just starting to get to a point where now it's getting dangerous now. Like, you're starting to impose your beliefs on other people now, and it's starting to be like, I don't like this.
Jeff B. Original sin for being born, forced conversion, sexual mutilation by some zealots, one child's policy favoring one gender over another. Lots going on here. Yeah, exactly. The parallels of how certain cultures will do things similar to what we're seeing in the show. And it is wrong. Yeah. Being born is not a crime. No. And I cannot... That just...
And forced mutilation, we're talking about.
and a forced sex change on someone who didn't make a choice. Yeah. If you grow up and you want to do whatever you want to your body and you're sound mind and body and it's your choice, do whatever the hell you want to do. But forcing a child to do something and they have no say-so and not even... to where it's like, you have to do this or you be shunned by society. No, you're going to be arrested.
And it's not even like, when they reach a certain age, as soon as they're born, they do this. I mean, no say whatsoever. It's wrong. Man,
it's ridiculous. The Soul of the Dragon. The Mocklin ordering the arrest without getting a decision from the diplomatic equivalent of putting your feet up on the negotiation table. Major football. Yeah, I know, right? They're like, screw it. Whatever they say, we're going to take care of this problem.
And I believe this. And the way they were going, I guarantee the rest of those admirals would have went with what the Mocklins wanted totally. But they had to just, throw it away and not even give them a chance to have their say on it.
Yeah, your diplomacy means nothing to me.
But you're part of the Union. You have to give them their say. And it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah. Whew.
All for weapons, so that's great.
And I think they came to the conclusion that it's not worth throwing all these children's lives away because the forced conversions. What if they just kill them?
They could do that too. What if they say no and refuse?
Ridiculous. Billy Deerhead again. I don't think we had a comment from him last time, but always long, thoughtful.
Oh, I love Billy. Always just
these. So we're gonna stop every paragraph or so, respond, and then continue on. The Mocklins, the species of endless controversy. And then with every Mocklin episode, as much as they tackle and debate a complex issue, my biggest concern is how it all affects Boris and his family, and how the huge issue boils down for the little guys. I love how the Orville not only gives us fair representations of both sides of a debate, but also shows that these matters affect real people. Yeah, their marriage, it's been rocky, and they both have made mistakes. Boris with his porn addiction, and then you have Clyden, who's has this... it's a fanaticism.
A fundamentalism. He's just down so crazy for his society. It's insane. And
you can see Boris has been trying to make up for his mistakes, but Clyden doesn't see this as a mistake in any way.
He's actually thinking Boris is doing the wrong thing. That's how insanely backwards his thinking is. And like I said before, I wanted them to stay together. At this point, I wouldn't mind if Boris says, I'm done with you, Clyden. It's too much.
Yeah, you can go back to Mockless, but again, there's a child involved now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
See how dirty this whole thing gets and how messy?
It does.
And again, like Billy said here, it shows you the grander picture of what's happening to all these people on their planet, but it even boils it down to what happens to a singular family.
Yep.
How these issues can tear a family apart.
Oh, it can.
And it's sad. And it shouldn't, but that's what happens.
And Boris is trying, but at some point, what do you do?
It continues on. My absolute favorite part of the episode was the decision Ed and the other admirals, a discussion that Ed and the other admirals were having, because every single person in the room brought up well thought out valid points. Even the Admiral Perry told Ed he was out of line for oversimplifying the issue. He was absolutely right. Even with the other aliens in the council were bringing up their perspective, they all made responsible, thoughtful arguments that warrant serious consideration. This episode had the most intelligent political discussions I've seen on television in decades. And that's what I love about science fiction. And as all the greatest science fictions will present a problem that we can reflect on today, but it's in the scope of the future, and it shows you all options.
And it explains, and it has an avenue to do that with sci-fi. I think sci-fi is the best to do this, I think, personally.
And you have other shows where if you don't agree with the main characters, you're wrong, you're bigoted, you're a racist, you're this, you're that,
and they don't even present a good argument. They just say you're just wrong for not believing it.
If you don't believe in what the main character believes in.
Yeah.
That's terrible writing. This is great writing. Because you can, I see Mauchlin's thing. It's their planet, their people. Why are we butting in?
Yeah.
But can you sit there and watch a planet of refugees who want to they're not even trying to join the union. They just want to be separate.
Like you said, you mentioned the episode about a girl. The thing about that is that was between two Mauchlins and their kid. Now we're starting to get to the point where these people want nothing to do with Mauchlins anymore.
Yeah.
And you're forcing them back to become, we're leaving. We're not even in your society trying to change it. We just want to be left alone. See, now you're getting to that point where it's like, come on, guys, you're starting to tread on water.
You're taking too many steps out of your damn way.
Yeah.
But again, it showed you all these things. They do provide all these weapons. What if the killing come back? And they end up killing everyone.
Yeah.
So what was the point of saving these young women if they're all going to be just killed anyways?
Unless they found them. But I like Ed's point. He goes, well, maybe they'll wipe all you guys down. All the Muggles we left will be all female, but you like that.
Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
Yeah.
Continues on. I would love to see Dolly Parton's reaction to this episode. The look at Havana, that was her name. The female Mauchlin face when she heard the song was like she had heard the voice of God. I've never in my life would have ever thought I'd be listening to 9 to 5 in the middle of a sci-fi space battle. The way McFarlane balances serious political discussion and laugh out loud humor is truly brilliant. And that is so hard to do.
The tapestry of it is
because
amazing.
these are two. This episode could have been 1000% super serious.
Yeah.
But McFarlane always throws in that bit. This is also entertainment.
Yeah.
And we need it, and we want to laugh and have fun. And he does them both, and neither one of those things diminishes the other.
I can count on one hand how many shows did that so well. It's hard. It's hard to do drama, serious stuff, and do humor, and do it in such a way where it isn't. One doesn't overpower the other. It's that perfect balance.
And it's so funny because, like we say, when she hears the song, just the look in her eyes was like everything is made so clear now.
and then even like you said, Mer said, "Really? There's other songs you can pick on. Oh, this one. Okay, there's other."
She didn't even consider anything else. This is the first one I heard. This is it.
That speech you give the UN at the end party. He's like, "Oh boy." And then I was like, "What?" He's like, "You don't want to know. It's gonna be stupid."
The man.
The man. I love it.
Oh, it's just great. And what you're saying is powerful. It is true, but it makes me smile and laugh because we know the context of the song.
Yeah, we know the whole totality.
And the kind of person that Dolly Parton is. She's a bombastic, very loud kind of person. It's like, I love it.
Yeah, you don't know the whole context, Sam.
Again, I would love to, because someone, I don't know if it's in the comments or if I read it somewhere else on Twitter, but I guess on the actual official 9 to 5 song that's on YouTube, there's all kinds of Orville comments on it.
I love it. That's awesome. Good job, guys.
I hope Dolly Parton saw the episode and approved. And
I hope so.
She might be like the kind of person like, I don't know what this is all about, but it inspired these people in this episode, and I like that.
Oh, that's
I think
cool.
that should be cool. I'm hoping that was her reaction.
Yeah.
And they finish up. I'm once again worried about Bortus and Clyden's marriage, but I'm still assuring to see Topa getting along with the girl in his class at the end. Speaking of which, Mara Sirtis, also the teacher in the Orville. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You keep seeing all the Trek alumni.
Yep.
So technically, she's always on the Orville because he's a teacher. So she's technically.
Unless she's the one that replaced.
What's his face?
Boyfriend. What's his name? Cassius.
Because he did leave. That'd be so cool. I love it. Cool. Who played Tony Todd? Who played Worf's brother Karn in Star Trek? I love that episode. I like Worf's brother. I love the fact that Worf has just like this huge sense of family. Even his his non-Klingon family, he still has that.
Yeah, he plays a Mockingbird. I recognize that voice. I knew that was him. He's got that powerful voice. He did such a good job.
That's such a fun.
I'm offended that you even want to do this. He plays that role so well.
And you know what I hated their argument because it boiled down to like, oh, what about this war and everything? See, that's not even their
arguments were stupid. It was weak. Their argument.
But it's a powerful argument, but it's for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah,
because we need you. Yeah, we're not even talking about because if we break up and separate, we're all dead.
Yeah.
And you're going to do it just on this one little planet?
And then even alliance of the crew might not be enough. We need all to be together.
This is a multifaceted network here. The amount of endorsement that Orville keeps getting from all these old Trek actors shows how well they captured the spirit of the classic Trek. And I hope and pray that someday soon we'll get to see Michael Dorn playing out one of as Bortus's father. How cool would that be?
Oh my, don't even get me started on that. That'd be amazing.
I had a little bit of a heartbreak. I really wanted Brett Spiner to be like the voice of Kalon Prime, like the main computer system.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen
but he was such a bad person.
Because the Kalon Prime, I don't know if he was the main leader, but I meant like the computer of the planet.
Oh yeah.
Like if there was like one big computer, I would want that to be Brett Spiner.
Well, maybe Brett Spiner will be like an artificial life on board another one. Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be so cool.
That'd be cool.
I just love Data. I just love him. But yeah, to see Michael Dorn do something with the Orville would be so cool.
That would.
Because he just has such a recognizable voice and that powerful acting. It's just so great.
And then believe me, and he commands the room. But believe me, though, he's been wanting to be on Star Trek, but they just don't want him. So he's got.
Yeah, they don't want a Worf story. No, because that just wouldn't be badass as all hell.
Oh no, I would love it.
Give me a Worf story where he's on an experimental ship that has Jemadar. Is like that, and it's how freaking cool.
My goodness, that is even cooler than the Jordy Ford being captain with all those data. That's even cooler than that.
How cool would that be?
I want Gemini to be in Starfleet. I've been saying that for years now.
And they will be like the Strike Force type team. That's going to be like the tip of the sword, the tip of the spear.
Yeah.
So they will be like an all tactical kind of group.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
and
that's so awesome.
And they're still kind of like, they have the old DNA from before, so they have to learn how to be more diplomatic,
and
a little bit more independent, and not be so connected to the founders. Oh, don't get me started. I could just write that.
We could do a whole thing on that, but Michael Dorn is awesome. I love that
incredible.
guy. S.J. Pace, 1776. One thing I noticed was I barely laughed. And I love this episode, really. Just take Dolly Parton bit out, which I loved. It feels like a classic TNG episode. Highlight was the dialogue, some of the best in the series. Tight writing kept me invested the whole time. Yeah, exactly. You could, the comedy, like I said, doesn't diminish the seriousness.
Not at all.
And the seriousness didn't diminish the comedy.
It's a perfect blend, yeah.
And yeah, this is a real, we can see the parallels to things that happen in today's time, how people will be prejudiced against someone just for the way that they were born. That is wrong, and I hate it, and I can't stand it. And the Mocklins, you're such a great ally when it comes to technology and weapons, but when it comes to social issues, they couldn't be any more backwards.
Yeah. But it's so funny you mentioned the Dolly Parton thing. The thing is, Star Trek has talked about old things in the past, but they just dip their toe in it. McFarlane puts this whole thing in the pool, because why not? It's there, use it.
And that's what just makes that another connection to us.
Yes.
Because we know Dolly Parton well more than they would ever know it. Toward Marcus Birkeland Jacobson. I loved how we got to see all the admirals and we got to see the council. It was super cool to see representatives from the race. We have seen before as background characters and stuff. We even saw a representative from Yamfit's race. That was cool because we actually even saw ones we'd never seen.
Yeah.
And they're all very unique, and it was besides Yamfit's people, it's costumes. It's practical makeup and I love that. Not these CGI background bullcrap.
I want to meet other people of his race because I'm kind of wondering, are they all like him? Or are they just like regular, people?
It's so funny, but again, if you've only met one, if the only human you ever met was Malloy, would you think, all humans like this?
Yeah, I know, right?
But I'm pretty sure there's probably more serious people.
Oh, you're calling race. That's racist, like he told Captain Rich because he didn't get to become chief engineer.
Is that what this is? He's just snuck under the door. He can't do that. And I think in the background there was like a race of like you'd see like the diversity of all these different kinds, and that's a future. Well, if we ever met alien races and we ever did this thing, I think that we would be able to come together and have something like a Federation or a Union Central.
That's always been my dream. I'll never see it in my lifetime, but it'd be amazing.
That's I think anyone who loves science fiction, that is their dream, to have this galactic alliance where we pursue science and life and build bonds instead of just being this dystopian destruction future. I want it to be where we, not like everything's roses as in this episode, not everything's going to be perfect, but we still have a vision towards the future.
But the core is good.
Yeah.
The core is good. And the thing is, and I have to say, I heard this from a YouTube video yesterday, I think McFarlane's becoming the Gene Roddenberry of this generation. He is. He's becoming that. It's
so funny because no, and it's not because there's the lack of trying. Nobody wants to be Gene Roddenberry because it's not fashionable.
No one wants to pick up the mantle. Yeah.
No, it's not fashionable to be positive.
No,
everything has to be dark, dank, and disgusting, and everything has to be the future. It's going to be just like war torn and dystopia.
Yeah,
there is an audience that people want to see a future where we're trying our best.
Yeah,
and that's the Orville.
Yep.
And a lot of people came into it thinking it was silly comedy time. And I think even McFarlane kind of pushed that a little bit just to get it produced.
Yeah, I saw a story on that too, just to get it out the door, yeah.
And then once you got out the door, again, as soon as they hit episode 3, it was...
Yeah, but you even see that first episode, there's a lot of more jokes in it, and they kind of got away from that as the series went on. But, it's a good episode.
Michael Maloney, go Dolly go. Every time I get a look at the Mocklin, the more I get the feeling that something really effed up is about to happen to them long ago. Something really effed up happened to them long ago. What happens to Mocklin stays on Mocklin, but the new colony should be free. It's what they chose. Look for Bortus's mate to bail soon. Here's the thing, but they're like your mate for life, and you have to kill your partner if you want a divorce. I don't want anyone to die, but I think Clyden would be happier without Bortus, and Bortus... These issues are too deep.
But the thing is, being on this ship, he already promised the captain he wouldn't kill him again, so what are you supposed to do? Like, try to kill him again? I don't know.
And they have a son now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If they were just two people together, whatever breakup, and now there's a child involved. And anyone who's been part of like a broken family or a young child that had to go through a divorce, it's never easy.
No.
And it's never clean, and it's always going to be an impression. And I don't want to have Topa go through that, but also I don't want him to see his parents fighting all the time.
No.
Oh, it's awful.
It's awful, but also another thing too. That remember Boris first was that other guy who was that engineer, but then he wasn't. Obviously he liked women, so that kind of created that whole thing. So I think they'd have been perfect for each other because he was more open minded. But
what can you do? Yeah. That's another again. Someone I would have made this week's comments or last week's like, man, Bortus can't get a break. He has so much stuff happen to him, and it's and he has that outward stone wall. But he could tell it hurts him.
Of course it does.
And he could tell even like when he saw his son at the end, he even had that little tear in his eye. Because well, maybe all the things that I went through, maybe my son can reap the benefits of all my pain.
That's why when they had that final moment at the table, go, yeah, you'd like to go back to Marcus. I know you, Clyde, and you'd love it. You don't even, when you talk to her, you don't even acknowledge her. You don't even acknowledge any of the women on the ship. You don't interact with any of them.
It's so bad.
It is.
Man, but it makes for great characters.
It does.
It really does. Madeline, 1001. This episode was an absolute best for the Orville. You had the social struggle, the mirror modern society done very well, plus the quirkiness that you would expect from the show as well. It's perfectly balanced and makes you smile and think. Not going to lie, the parallels to the hardcore fundamentalist Islam started popping into my head as well. With some of the recent news of certain countries, it was really fitting. And I think that might have flown over the heads of a lot of people because Mr. McFarlane's he's a liberal,
yes,
pretty far left in his policies, but this is a very conservative message if you think about it, because guess what? There's a lot of countries in this world today that would kill you for going against what they considered morally correct.
Yeah.
You're imprisoned, you're beaten, you're stoned. They have morality police.
I remember in the past in Orville with Marcus, I say they do have fundamental things, but I try to stay away from that. But this episode, it was just so undeniable. It is a parallel to what you see, like in parts, like you would say in the Middle East. In a lot of these countries,
if there's a woman not wearing her clothes a certain way, they will call the morality police on you and have you arrested and you would have some type of corporal punishment.
Yep. And they can actually detain you. These people have no right to do that, and they don't get in trouble. You get in trouble.
What is that? You're telling me if there was a female Mocklin and they pinned her down and called the police, they would be considered heroes.
Yep.
Like that girl did anything wrong besides the sin of being born.
Yeah.
Awful.
It is awful.
And they're all their parallels there. You can't deny it.
No, this episode was right in your face. I mean...
KJH, leave it to the Orville to have not one, but two serious battles with an upbeat country music background to somehow make it work. We also got the Trek alum And then Tony Todd, the Admiral Gathering. So we got so much. I just love the high caliber actors that are willing to do these little parts because they love they probably are good friends with McFarlane and they love the aspect of the show. Yep. They wouldn't do these roles if they didn't believe in it.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's that money and paychecks are involved, but why aren't we seeing these people in Discovery, for example?
Yeah.
Because they probably saw it and like, I want nothing to do with that.
Nope.
But they're here, which
and
is
the thing
cool.
is, I bet you they don't want them either. See, that's a twofold problem.
I think the Council displayed most every alien we've seen in the series. Love the glows of the ships reflecting off the nebula gas. I think the message here relates to the trans issues of today in the sense that there are more of them than we realize. And the thing is, just because there's if someone wants to live their life a certain way, as long as you're not hurting anybody or forcing anything on anyone else, and you're an adult, do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be recognized as a dragon person, whatever kind of. Don't mess with people.
Yeah, but the thing is, at the same time, if you're going to get in the thing of creating something, we have a right to criticize your work too. That you have to understand that too.
You have every right in the world to pretend you're a dragon man.
Oh, yeah.
I have every right in the world to make fun of you for pretending to be a dragon man. Welcome to America, where you have your rights and I can make fun of you.
Yeah,
too.
but what we said a little previously, you don't have a right to physically hurt you.
Oh, yeah. I have no right in the world to call the morality police on you and get you arrested.
That's the difference. Yeah. So you got to see, people sometimes don't know the difference of that.
Yeah, it's again, they do the absolutes, and you need to operate in a middle ground. And there's certain absolutes in life, but for the most part, you gotta have to.
There's a lot more gray than people want to realize.
I believe the same commenter, KJH again. This may be noting, but after rewatching in the promo of next week's episode, I noticed they say the episode before the season finale, not series finale. Maybe some hope. Networks are usually pretty deliberate about these things. Yeah, I hope it gets another season.
It has to. It's too popular. It has too much of a following.
And I can't imagine them not doing this.
Yeah.
Because we do have comic books coming out in July.
Yeah.
And we're getting more merchandise and more little things here and there. Gosh. So it shows you that Fox cares enough, or Disney now cares enough to keep it moving.
I'll be like, they could have to put an Orville right in Disneyland. Just give me the Star Tours one.
That's my dream, is that Star Tours gets moved to the Star Wars land.
Yeah.
That empty space, make it a Orville Planet Unitary thing. How cool
get rid of C-3PO in the beginning and just put Isaac there. Perfect.
Yeah.
You got it done already.
That'd be so fun. I mean, it could almost be exactly the same. Just put an Orville skin over everything.
I think it would be the best if they get like someone do the voice, when they're watching people go by and they just says hello and he sounds just like Isaac. That'd be perfect.
It's silly and it's dumb, but God, I love it.
Oh my gosh, I'd eat it all up. Give me some merchandise at Disneyland and Orville. I'd be in heaven.
And remember to keep watching the show.
Yes.
Keep tweeting about it. Keep talking about it. If there's merchandise available, buy the merchandise.
I watch the episodes when I record them. We watch them on twice on this when it's live. We watch it on Hulu. I mean, I'm doing everything I can.
So we got to keep this because it's a good show. It's not like, oh man, I want the show going and it has all these flaws and it's really stupid. No, it's actually, I want good sci-fi to be on TV.
Yeah.
And it's something, again, there is other good sci-fi shows, but a lot of them are dystopian.
Yes.
And I love action and dark and grittiness. But this is it's a pillar of light. It's okay to have that.
Yep.
The Hunter Wolf. Loved it. One of the best episodes so far. I really like how the Orville keeps making meaningful callbacks to previous episodes, and it doesn't do the infamous reset every episode sci-fi TV shows are famous for, where everything that happened in an episode is only contained to that episode and doesn't affect anything else later unless it's explicitly multi-episode long story arc. Here the status quo changes ever so slightly with each few episodes. I personally think Borda should leave Clyde in. They aren't. That relationship is kind of at their.
I support.
It is on a thin line.
Yes.
And I don't want, again, like I said, I don't want anyone to be killed because their culture is weird. But I think Clyde would be happier back on his planet.
Yeah.
Because you obviously hate everything about.
But then you said the kid.
You have a child.
What are they going to do? He's going to have him? Well, I mean, they're going to go to have Disney rights? I don't think Malkin's even had it because you kill your partner, so they don't even have divorce proceedings. So I don't know how that's going to work.
Unless they say they do like a separation. Oh, you go back go stay with your family for a while, and it's kind of like, we're divorced, but we're really not.
But wouldn't it be something if Klein ends up dying? And then Boris will feel kind of guilty because now he's free, but it's like, I don't want him to die. And like, oh man,
because there were plenty of times like during the Carolina invasion, they were on their ship. He could have easily been killed there.
Yeah.
What if something happens where Clyden saves Bortus and Clyden ends up dying? How bad would that make Bortus feel? Like he throws him out of the way and he gets hit with the phaser blast or something? How horrible!
Oh, it'd make him feel awful
because all the fighting. Then I think deep down, they do love each other, but there are some deep issues.
But how funny that would be, because then you'd have a situation when it would be Worf and Alexander.
Yeah.
When his mom died, so that would be a kind of that parallel there. It'd be interesting.
That was a cool episode, too.
Yeah, it was.
He went and fought that guy right there. He's like, you killed my mate.
Duras,
oh! He went in there, get thrown down. It's just, something needs to happen, because after all this, I don't know if they can go back to just being that, that I wanted them to be that loving couple that had their quirks and their weirdness.
Because I love how, like, the quirkiness and, like, the whole cigarette thing was just hilarious. How they just got addicted to
like,
that.
remembering, like, was it season 1 when Clyde was like, I want to eat ice cream and watch
something
to make me happy.
food, they said, Rocky Road.
See, that side of him, I like. His xenophobic, woman-hating, misogynist side of him.
But like we're finally doing a good job of you're pulling the layers back, and you're seeing it's like, it's the worse and worse you see. It's like, Clyde, why do you have to be so stringent?
Yeah, you gotta be an absolute piece of garbage.
And I love how he mentions the callbacks. Yeah, like Discovery does every episode. Like, we didn't remember what just happened.
Yeah, they do like a 10-minute, remember what happened last time? It's like, yeah, I didn't forget.
Yeah, it was a week ago. What, are we stupid?
Jay Cinch? Again, I don't know how to pronounce that.
I kind of love that.
I love the comment Nitpicky Nerd made on STD. I'm assuming that's another YouTuber. The show never misses a chance to miss a chance. That is true. I am so glad Orville does the episode. They aimed at something to make it land straight bullseye. If you think about it, it's a great way to return to a previous episode and build on them. This was definitely a great continuation of About a Girl episode. I just wonder which will be the season-ending plot. Clyde, Crow, Moclan's leaving the Union. The show is great how it's unpredictable. Well, the plot of the cookbook is mysterious in the comparison to the crap that Star Trek Discovery calls its story. Here's the thing, hashtag renew the Orville. We gotta keep that going. And I don't know how this is gonna end. Like, I remember when we were watching the episode, like, I'd pause it on the DVR and I'd be talking to Infinity PC. I'm like, I don't know where they're going with this.
Yeah, we said that too. That's the thing I love about this. I don't know. McFarlane, it's all about. I didn't even know, like, when it happened. When same thing Identity, I didn't know what was going to happen. I really didn't know at that. But that's great. Where you're on the edge of your seat, you have no idea.
Yeah, is it like during before the council made its decision? I paused it. I'm like, are they going to side with the Mocklins?
Yeah.
And I honestly thought 50-50. Everyone has a say so, and it all makes sense. That's what I love about it. There's no doubt in my mind that Michael Burnham is going to be the savior in the final episode of Discovery tomorrow.
Whatsoever. Yeah.
And she's going to win, and she can't lose, and she's the best ever. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
But in the Orville, I don't know. And that's what makes it so much more powerful.
Oh, yes.
And that's what makes it so much better not to have, I don't know, decades and decades of story that you're trying to build behind. Yeah, don't do that.
Half a century, 50 years we're talking about. Over 50 years of Star Trek.
And then you're going to try to hide behind canon. Oh, jeez, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But, Famucci? 186 again. I do apologize for screwing up people's names. I'm not good with names. How'd Moclan find the colony? Remember they put some weapons on Mercer's ship. About the only thing I didn't like about the episode is somehow 2 Union officers defeated a regiment of Moclan soldiers and they're using the stun setting. Yeah. I kind of wondered how did they know where that planet was.
Well, I don't say the weapons because the people who put the weapons are 2 people that were defecting. So I don't think they.
Unless there was stuff secret in there that they didn't even know.
Maybe, but I was in the person maybe Clyde didn't give him a message. I don't know.
He's that crazy.
Yeah.
This is none of your damn business.
Yeah, no, he's out of his mind. Why does it hurt you? They're not bothering anybody.
And I do agree. I remember in our review, I believe I said that they should have went down with an attachment of like maybe 10 guys.
But at the end, they really don't want to fight each other either. They're both quote unquote still allies. That's why I was thinking everyone wasn't really going all out.
And I'm assuming it's stun.
Yes.
They didn't say as much, but I'm pretty sure they didn't just kill a whole bunch of Mocklins.
No.
And you have to remember Kelly and Bortus had the element of surprise.
Yes, they did.
So they didn't know that there was going to be a counterattack. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's happened, but again, it was just 2 officers took on a whole entire.
And she said the line about men always just do, but again, it makes sense because they're talking about the Mocklins. It makes sense in that regard because they're all male species.
Xena the Trace, Xena the Third, great, another great episode. I actually got to watch this one with the rest of the fam, and they lost at the Dolly Parton bits. This show continues to impress. The Nebula was beautiful. The sound design was on point, and the comedy was there in the best places. The continuation of the Mocklin storyline continues to evolve, and it's very interesting to see where they might go with this. The comparison to the end was probably the best thing they could have done in the situation that they were in. But I did love Mercer's. I'm starting to lose some of these comments. Excuse me. So I'm trying to zoom in. I did love Mercer's. I'm pretty sure this was Mercer's response at the end, but it's being cut off here. Yeah. I don't know why that's happening. But yeah, his little dig at the end. Yeah. Because what if the only thing left are females? How wonderful would that be for the Mocklin race? And now they went completely the thing that you consider to be immoral, to be...
It's the very thing that you are now. That's it.
Yeah, would you rather have no species?
Yeah.
Or be half females? You know, like, because it might come down to that.
Yep.
But yeah, right here. See, when I zoomed out, it showed the whole comment. But I did love Mercer's little dig about the Mocklins and the Kalon. Another great episode. Renew the Orville. Yeah, it's just and I haven't gotten to watch the show with any of my other family members that aren't sci-fi, you know, into sci-fi stuff. But I think this whole Dolly Parton stuff, I think my sister would actually probably really think it was funny, just because of an alien species taking something that's like a fun song and taking it so seriously. Yeah. But even if you just take the words alone without a melody or music, it is a song about a woman's struggle.
Oh yeah, it is definitely. it's so there funny. Are some episodes I think everyone can enjoy, not even non-sci-fi fans. Some of the episodes.
Yeah, something like this I think because the average person can see the parallels to other things.
Yes.
Definitely. How certain people are being judged just for the way they're born.
Yeah.
Just for the color of their skin. Just because they're female or young boy. There's always something that someone can discriminate someone against, and you can apply that to that group.
Yep.
David Akaret. Well, the council is also having to think if the Mocklins do stop sharing weapons tech, you are looking at a loss of countless of lives compared to just a few thousand. They know for sure. So it does touch a little bit on how different levels of organizations have to think differently. All in all, I agree with the episode was great. It just shows it gets better and better as it goes on. Yeah, like I said, when you look at something from way above, I play a lot of RTS video games. When you zoom out and you see everything from a distance, you move a group of soldiers over here. You lost half your forces, but you captured something. You don't think about the individual soldier because you're thinking about the overall war.
Picture, yep.
But if you were to zoom in on that one person and somehow see their family and their wife back at home, yeah, it would make you feel like crap. But at certain levels of like the Emeralds, they kind of have to be above that. But this is it's a humanitarian crisis.
Well, it's almost like Ender's Game if you think about it.
Yeah, is it worth it? You just wiped out millions and millions of lives.
Yeah.
You sacrificed a whole detachment of frigates that had thousands of lives on it.
Yeah.
But it was to win.
Yep.
Ugh. But that's what makes the Orville beautiful. It showed the big picture and the small picture.
It did.
Everything down to the individual family to a whole entire race.
Yep.
And it affects everyone in between.
Yep. And that's what you do.
That's what makes it great.
The macro to the micro to the, big, universal implications.
Ben Suisse, again, I hope I'm saying that right. I enjoyed this episode, but I felt a vague pride to be an Earther and that Dolly Parton as it's wrapped up. I really disagree with many of the Kalon's views, but she acts within those ethical boundaries, and I do respect that. But Clyden, I appreciate that Clyden is a complex character and often drives the story. It was great to see Todd marry Cyrus and pointed out that they earned an alien in the council. It's just so cool to see all those people again. It always makes me smile. I'd like to see more of how the crew feels about Isaac's attempt to mend wounds. His race is prominent in the series, and at this point, he participated in part of an invasion. I'd also like an emotional cleanup with the relationships. Tala, Clyden, for the one scene she told him to avoid her. Yeah, see, that's another interaction, because with Tala, she's very... whatever she's feeling, she's just saying.
Yeah, she's going to say it, yeah.
Where, that's what makes it... She's such a juxtaposition between her and Alara.
Yeah,
Alara would have some feelings, but she would keep them bottled inside because she doesn't want to rock the boat. Yeah. Tala straight don't care.
Yeah.
She'll just like in this battle, she made the attack that ship.
Between a sweet little sister and this is a woman with feelings, she gonna say them, okay? That's the thing.
And well, you need to ask Kelly for permission. Like, I'm the captain now, and I'm making this call. Yeah. It's like, she took the seat and she's running with it.
Oh yeah, she did. She told Malloy off there, man. She wouldn't have none of it.
The Underground Railroad was an interesting theme, and it echoed the callbacks to the Invasion episode where Prime it talks to Isaac about the biologicals and enslavement. I enjoyed this podcast thanks to you. I would like to hear real-time reactions to the show as it broadcasts. I would love to do something like that. But that's the thing. I have no idea how any of these copyright things work because with Discovery, I show pictures for the whole entire episode.
Not one time.
I haven't got an email or anything from CBS. Not a single one time. Yeah. In the beginning, I showed pictures for the Orville, and the Fox would hammer me with copyright strikes, and you got to remove this, you got to do this, and it's like no, it was nonstop. Now I don't even show them, so I don't even know what would happen if we did a live response to as the episode airs, because I think that'd be a really cool thing, especially for like a season finale. Yeah. But I don't know how that works.
I think what would be better ground if we did like you did the last episode of Carmen Sandiego, where we do like you already get it done, so we have a live
a live chat with it.
Well, maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah, for the week after.
The week after, I mean the last episode. Yeah. That's probably more practical.
I know. I guess people do like where the episode plays in a tiny box at the bottom, and then
but that's still.
I don't want to do all that.
Or a watershed. I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah, where you like reverse the image.
You almost saying you are doing something wrong. You know, it has that kind of feeling to it.
Which again, I don't understand the whole process of. No one is coming to my video to somehow take away from the Orville. I'm telling you to go watch it. Like, it's so weird. It's just, I don't get it.
It's so stupid.
But I've known other people who cover the Orville and they show clips and everything. So I don't know. I guess I'm not cool enough to do that, but
I know, right?
I would love to do a live thing like that, but I just don't know the logistics of it.
Yeah, I think more likely the chat thing.
Yeah, so we'll record it, then do a premiere. Yeah. And then we'll have a live chat, and we'll be in the live chat.
Yeah.
Lane Bubbles Fly So High. Very good episode. Well written, well filmed, and well acted. We got to look at more of the races and the inner workings of the Union, which is excellent for lore development. My only gripe is with the Moclan soldiers on the planet, who despite being professional soldiers from a warrior culture could neither shoot or fight, which is odd and kind of killed the tension of the scene and the sense of urgency to find a deal. It almost looked like the compromise saved them instead of the colonists. The typical of the genre, though. Why is everyone doing this? The only TV show with the format with bad guys was Battlestar Galactica. Here's the thing. Yeah, I'd say the weakest part of the episode was that battle down there. Like I said, they should have went with more soldiers.
Yes.
And there should have been more of like a firefight instead of like a shooting gallery for Kelly.
Yeah, but I think what it was also too. They also know we have this alliance. That's what I keep thinking.
And I think at the same time they were trying not to kill these other people because they wanted to save them. They wanted to liberate
they
them.
kept saying, "Oh yeah, they're criminals," but at the same time we have to help them. They don't know what they're doing. It's like, okay,
so I think that's what it was. They were preoccupied with trying to quote unquote save their people. And I love how throwing them in jail is saving them, but I think they were kind of preoccupied with that, and they were surprised. But again, I'm making excuses. Yeah. It should have been a way cooler battle.
Now I'm thinking about. I remember Kelly saying this could be a career ender. She don't want no one else to do, but still send a detachment. You're telling me Boris the only one that would go down there? No one else.
I know. They should have sent freaking Isaac down there.
I know. You could get his blasters from his head. have a stunt sending, right? If you don't have a stunt sending, you can't use those.
He only has kill and kill more. That's all.
No, he's got to have a stunt sending because that would be really bad.
He just murders everyone. Yeah. But I do agree with that. With that battle scene could have been so much better.
Yep.
Todd Marcus Birkland Jacobson. This had driven me crazy since season 1. You see female Moclans are the norm. Every one of them are female. Bortus is female, for God's sakes. Yes, they have masculine traits by human standards, but they don't make them male. Being female means you can produce egg cells. That's it. And no, you can't just say that they are aliens, so it's different from them. In the case of saying that H2O is plutonium because it's on the moon. For instance, male seahorses get pregnant. That's because the females plant their eggs inside the male, which get drugged in the sperm and developed inside the male. Bortus laid an egg. That is female. But again, you can't say because we can't say how every biological thing has to be male and female.
Yeah, not on a different planet.
Because what if they don't even have? I know everything we've seen up to this point, there's male and female, but what if there's a race that, again, they literally do have 50 genders? How do we know? And we can't always apply human traits and moralities and ideas on to another race.
Kleinen was a female, not Boris, but I know what he's saying, though.
But he's saying Boris is female because he laid an egg.
Yeah.
So that would make him female since he's the one who...
But how do we know that? How do you know males don't? You know what I'm saying? We don't have no idea how the process works.
See, we never saw... It's like, does it come out of his butt? I don't even want to think
the thing about it is, we saw his butt. He has no middle orifice.
I'm
so it's
assuming
like
they have some type of opening. I don't even want to think about it. It's so gross.
I like when that's when Lamar asks, well, how does it come out? His buddy goes, no, I didn't ask that question. I'm not going to go into those details.
So, Bortus, your butt, is it...
It's so weird.
But yeah, it's just... but again, they've had how many years of forced gender mutilations and stuff? Their things probably all jacked up from all the... They've probably been doing this for generations.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's just one of those things where, but the way that they see it, male, female, and then since they jack
up. Yeah, but you can't put what we would think and how they would see that, though.
Yeah.
That you can't do that.
Our next comment, Kevin Jones. Sorry to hear about the demonetization. That sucks. For this episode, never in my life I think I would ever hear country music, let alone Dolly Parton uses battle music. And it's the most glorious battle music you could ever have. Yeah. I'm going to ride in a battle with Dolly Parton every time.
Never thought 9 to 5 would ever be played like in that context, but it worked beautifully.
And like I already touched on the whole demonetization thing with Fox and everything. I just don't want to have to deal with it. Yeah. I don't want to have to go through 3 or 4 days of fighting a copyright strike to get it lifted, but I lost all that.
Yeah, you never see. It's not retroactive. You don't get that money back. That's gone.
Just so I don't know if anyone else who does YouTube stuff. Sometimes what I'll do is if I think an episode might get struck with something, I'll upload it, keep it private, see if it gets demonetized, fight the demonetization. If I win it, then I make it public because I don't want to lose my views. It's not. I know it kind of sucks. I don't
on the timing of it's not good.
The timing of it, because I even for anyone else who watched any of my other reviews, I did a Carmen Sandiego video with Chase and all the stupid stuff he did. I actually won that copyright strike with Netflix.
Yeah.
And I told them, hey, it's a comedy video. I'm doing a kind of a cinema sins type of thing where you count them many times, and they lifted the copyright strike. So you can win, but I lost 3 or 4 days of monetization on that video. Yeah. And that sucks.
That sucks.
Because I put a hell of a lot of work in that video.
Yeah, you did. With all the little things you did.
Yeah, and then have the little graphics and everything.
You did. Wayne's World, that was so good.
Our next comment, Sainty Figu? Again, I apologize for these names. I suck at them. This is how you write an awesome gender equality Civil War initiative episode correctly. Star Trek, Star Wars, and Marvel. Please take notes learn from some of the Orville writers. Thanks, guys. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to be literally about what's in the episode. You can apply this to other what you would call people that are being oppressed and things like that.
Yes.
And it's gray. Yeah. You see both sides of the argument. If this was Marvel or New Discovery Trek, it would be you listen to what the main character believes in, or you're a dummy, you're a bigot, you're a racist.
No, there are no easy answers. No. But they don't want to make it that way. There's only one answer.
Even the solution at the end wasn't clear.
No.
But I love the fact that she accepted it.
Yeah.
She's like, my people are here on this planet now.
Yeah, well, it's bad because we will do, but maybe someone else will elect them smart. It won't be us, but maybe it'll be someone else on Mockless that will take up the arms. You know?
And then I did it with a positive outlook, even though she's literally being oppressed as anyone has ever been oppressed, just for being born, and she could see the bright side of it. I like that.
How good would that be if all of a sudden McFarlane was running for Star Trek Discovery?
Wouldn't that be something?
Oh my goodness, he could probably fix it. He could fix it.
Mysticaria, again, I'm so bad. 81. I forgot to add that I'd like to see Bortus and Clyden get a divorce without the whole stabbing thing, but I think Clyden will be sticking along a while, sadly, unless he gets killed. And if I don't see Clyden leaving Topo behind, that's just going to be messy. Yeah, exactly. We said there's a kid involved now.
You can't. It's so bad.
And I think Bortus wants his family to be a family, to have 2 parents. And because he has to work. Yep. He's on the ship. He is a vital part of the crew. He can't just leave to take care of his kid. He has to have a partner at home.
Yeah.
And your partner is a freaking jerk. I don't know what to say.
Jerk. He's pretty bad.
Caveat lector. Again, another long one, so we're going to take it piece by piece. The Orville proves once again that they have the knack for tackling subject matters. If it handled it poorly or sanctimoniously, can be cringe-inducing and unwatchable to anyone who does not want to be lectured or condescended to in their entertainment. Even with the cheap one-shot one-liner or a bit of predictable pontificating employed in the writing, it either never comes across as insulting or don't dwell on it where it becomes insufferable. Star Trek, as the best comparison, did get preachy on the several occasions, but the Orville seems to be able to navigate that trap brilliantly, writing in great humor. As for, I can only express my appreciation to Seth MacFarlane and the cast, the crew, and the writers. This is a refreshing show, and it's just well acted.
Oh,
and I just love the fact that when Bortus and Clyden are having their arguments, you believe that these two aliens they are as human as they are not human.
Yeah.
You believe it.
Oh yeah, I seen a picture. I even posted on our Discord. Side by side, we see Boris in his full makeup. When he just looks at the person, he looks nothing like the character he plays. But that's a great job.
But he can emote,
yeah,
and it's so strange and so different, yet it's so familiar.
Oh yeah, perfect.
And it's just great.
You believe that they're aliens, but yet their problems are something you could see a family having. You could see an argument happening where there's going to be this disagreement how to, particularly how they want their society to be.
The
and
social issues.
Yeah.
And again, and it always gets brought up, who are we to impose our social views on it? But I think, but
it's getting more and more frayed, though.
But punishing a person for the way they're born is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. I don't care where you're from.
Yeah.
That is effed up, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they do such a great job. Seth MacFarlane, you could tell, loves sci-fi. It's evident.
Yeah.
As a side note, the fact that the gas nebula would not look like a dense glowing cloud, not to nitpick the Orville, as it is an ambiguous science fiction trope, the visuals were stunning. You can imagine the night sky on the planet would look like, jaw-dropping, I'd wager. Yeah, I know, with the nebula, it just looked cool, and that's not how it would actually really be.
Yeah, but we're just gonna go with it. Yeah, come on, it looks nice.
It was absolutely beautiful, And it's foreboding too, because when you see that Mocklin ship come out of the clouds, it's like, oh damn, why are they here? Oh, geez.
Guys, now think about great shots, like when it comes to like the person or an object or anything in this show. I love it when Finn was on that moon planet. You see the two planets in the back. That's the classic.
Oh, it's so
sci-fi.
cool looking.
I want that as a frame picture somewhere. That's so cool.
Also, Ed's observation regarding the Mocklins and their compatibility with the rest of the Union was right on the money. Other than some individuals who break with tradition on moral grounds or are more open-minded than the average Mocklin male, their whole society is extremely hidebound and school into their own internal quirks. They're very fanatical. Oh, yes. And I can't help but the conflict of the Union's enlightened stance. And that's the thing. We have such an open about, you can be whatever you want to be, you can be man, woman, you can identify as whatever, as long as you're not hurting anyone, just do what you want. That's blasphemy on Mockless.
Yes.
You'll be jailed and or killed for those beliefs. And we're supposed to be friends?
Yeah, and even for liking females, you go to jail too.
And we're supposed to be in a union together?
But they let them have their autonomy, and we talked about that in the last episode. After between them and the Federation. Federation, you all have to blend in. No, they don't.
Yeah, there's Federation like accords. Here, it's almost like it's very loose. They're kind of fast and loose with the Union here.
It is.
But at times, they kind of need to.
Yeah.
They continue on. I don't believe I've seen the last of this going on and escalating to conflicts of the civilization. And on the Mocklins themselves, I'm a bit disappointed in the portrayal of their fighting prowess. This seems to suffer from the Klingonists, where the species portrayed as stronger and fiercer than most, whose society is steeped in some martial warrior mentality. The Mocklins are weapon mongers and easily defeated in hand-to-hand combat by weaker Union officers and untrained civilians. It's all a bit silliness when it comes to the heroes to look good and entirely unrealistic. It would be one thing to have them beaten by individuals of equal strength like Bortus or other people, picking them off at a distance or in an ambush, but it's not how this scene in this show how things are played out. Overall, pretty good episode with some very deep moral, ethical, and expediently dilemmas. And I know, like, the battle on the planet could have been done better.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people are complaining about that.
I think that is the weakest part of the episode, but it's also almost not important.
Yeah, but not only that, you have to remember, these Mocklin females might have been trained, too. Because, they knew they had to survive.
Yeah, they had that warrior lady that was like, but here's the thing, like they said, were they killing those other Mocklins? Were killing?
But see, I think they were on stun, but I don't know about the Mocklin weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if those women had a stun sitting or not.
They might have been killed. But they didn't touch on that, but they might have. Who knows? Triple comment from toward Marcus Berkland Jacobson. I also like the one of the council members raised a question about how interfering could set a dangerous precedent regarding sovereignty. This says a lot about how the Union operates. Study the improvisational relatives and history, this impresses me a lot. Like you said, they give a lot of autonomy of how you do things.
Yes.
Because I think for this very reason, because again, you can't just go around being the police of other people's cultures, especially alien cultures that everything's different from us. But there's got to be some universal groundwork where we can't just say, oh, you're just allowed to go around and kill whoever you want because you believe so.
Yeah, but not only that, too. That's why another reason also hurts the fact they have their own ships, which is fine, but they don't even have to wear the same uniforms. They don't. See, again, that just goes to a bigger problem of not being a cohesive unit, and you're just doing this, like I said, autonomy. And I don't know. It just...
He continued on. To be honest, so do I think it would be best if Isaac had been left deactivated for some episodes? If they're not going to do anything with him, they could have said that the Admirals are still discussing whether or not to let him back on the Orville, or they could have needed time to figure out how to reactivate him instead of just figure it out so fast. Yeah,
that's my only gripe I could say I have with the show overall. Isaac is not... Now he's becoming a side character. I don't like that. I want to see, is there a resolution here? There's got to be some kind of conflict.
He needs to go back to Earth, and there needs to be an episode about people and their distrust of him, and there's people who do trust him, showing that things aren't so easily... This isn't a kitchen counter that you can spray and wipe clean. Yeah. There's going to be residue.
I don't know if it'll be this season, but hopefully next season... Have Finn, I've always said Finn and Isaac go to Baltimore, they go to Earth, and he has animosity. And she gets back with him, and they're like, well, we can't trust him. Are you with this person? He doesn't even show emotions. He was with those races that want to kill us all. It's like...
There has to be some
type of... It's got to be that. Give me that, please.
I give you that. I really honestly think something more should be done with
like her family's that. Like, we don't know about this, you know...
Yeah, especially if they had family members that were killed on those. A bunch of people died.
Yeah, I would say at least, 10,000?
Yeah, there should have been some of those. What was it? The Hawking.
The battle class.
Was a battle class cruiser.
I think you have close to 900 people on that ship.
That thing went down. Oh, that episode's so good.
Oh, don't even be starting on Danny. I love that episode.
And he continues on. This episode is a very mixed bag, in my opinion. It had a lot of absolute excellent moments and with some really cool stuff. The story was very good for the most part, but then there were some really dumb stuff too. But unlike Cupid's Dagger for season 1, I think the good parts ultimately outweigh the bad parts in this one. Here's the thing about Cupid's Arrow. That's just a comedy episode.
Oh, I loved it. I think he wanted to do that. So this is what we would have got if we did a comedy.
Is it the worst episode in the Orville? Hands down, it's the worst episode. Only because it's so funny. And it's
my gosh, the humor just makes up for it for me. It's so hilarious.
It is, but it's also the funniest episode.
Oh my goodness.
Notice how that worked out. The funniest episode happens to be the quote-unquote worst episode. Yeah. But damn, was that episode funny as hell.
I wish, why couldn't Discovery be at least that? I would take it right now.
Get a comedy. Yeah. That's what Lower Decks is for.
Oh goodness, I'm going to start that.
Armed Roy Canales. Bortus needs to ready the knife for that stabby stab divorce. Yeah, I know, right? I don't want anyone to die, but damn.
He's all, Bortus say, well, the captain said I couldn't kill you. Okay, yeah, so he didn't say.
It's done by accident, right?
Yeah.
Looks like we're down to our last two comments. Toward Marcus Berkland Jacobson again. Some things I don't get about the Union, though. Why did only the humans wear the Union uniforms? Why do they refer to humans on the ship as Union ships? Why don't humans have their own fleet where the other races have? It seems that the council is on Earth. I think it was an emergency meeting for the council to be on Earth. I think it's kind of like in... I guess they just wanted to make Earth the meeting place. I mean, it could have been anywhere. Yeah. But I think it was just, I guess, for convenience for the plot. But Bortus wears the Union uniform. The only one who doesn't wear the Union uniform or be someone like Yamfit because he's his.
Yeah, and Isaac is he's an android.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to. It would be cool to kind of see Isaac in a uniform. But I guess he's talking about all the other Union races. Yeah. But I think that's that whole autonomy.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that in a couple things before. Like, it's weird. They don't even wear the uniform. They don't have the same ships. It's like. It's too much. I think it's too much autonomy. I think they need to be a little bit more uniform.
I guess for me to understand it, it's kind of like how the United States were allies with other countries, but they don't wear our flag and they don't wear our uniforms and use our ships and weapons, and we kind of share technologies and stuff, but we kind of do our own thing.
Yeah. But
we're not enemies, but we're friends.
Yeah. It might be more realistic that way if you think about it. Yeah. And maybe Star Trek's a little more too idealized in that way.
And how I'd say like us in Japan. We're friends,
Yeah.
things like that. But at the same time, they handle their own stuff.
Yeah.
We may give them old F-16s and stuff like
But
that.
when it comes out to it, they're going to look up for themselves, which is fine. We are too, and that's just the way it is.
And it's kind of more. I guess it is a little more realistic like that.
I kind of like the other way a little bit, but I can see why. Say, how come they don't? But
I think maybe again, this is why I wish the show gets like more and more seasons.
I want this show to get 8, 9 seasons.
I want to
honestly.
see some crossovers. I want to see humans on Moclan vessels. Moclan being a captain of a Union vessel.
And get Valetsky to go on to Krill, come
Yeah.
her to the Orville ship.
How
That'd
cool
be
would that
awesome.
be?
That'd be
I would
awesome.
love that. There needs to be like a liaison. Again, we brought this up last time, but with the episode where Riker went on the Klingon ship, I love it.
Yeah, and how about all of a sudden maybe Kelly and Mercer's relationship starts to heat up, and then she comes on the ship again. Oh,
That's
what are you
gonna be
do
weird.
then? That's gonna be really weird.
And because for all
And
Mercer
she acts
fell
like
in
she
love with
doesn't.
her.
Yeah, exactly. And at first she acts like she doesn't care, but you know she does care, but she pretends she doesn't. It'd be
That's
funny.
where you get that fun little triangle stuff.
That would be funny.
But wrap it up. Corey Kelly, it was wrong forcing children to undergo sex change surgery or putting kids on hormones or puberty blockers at the age of 5. Yeah, this, again, you can make those parallels to things that people do here now today.
Yes.
Where people will, the forced mutilation that happens in other countries at this very moment. It's happening as I speak.
Yeah, it's awful.
Where young girls are being mutilated because of their beliefs, their belief systems, and that's wrong.
That is wrong.
And the sin of being born, and that I hate it. It's like I hate bullies and I hate people who do crap like that. Children should not be subjected to your sick vision of how the world works.
No,
they're just kids.
Yeah,
You're a piece of garbage. I hate it.
Exactly.
But that's gonna wrap up all the comments. But yeah, just it's a great episode overall.
Yeah, it's funny. I really thought we were going to get more pushback that people didn't like this episode, but we didn't. The only pushback we got was the battle scene on the planet. That's it, really. I thought it was amazing.
And again, I don't like this new YouTube beta studio thing, but they forced me into it. There was a comment here that was put into spam by Mr. Ritznicks. I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, who's up for the idea of starting the Orville convention by September or thereabouts? Any real fans out there? How about a bunch of them in different cities wired across the internet all on the same day, the anniversary of the first broadcast of Fox? How about those pickles? I think singular conventions are kind of falling apart. I would love for there to be a big Orville thing at a Comic-Con. Like at Phoenix Fan Fest or even at some of these bigger ones at New York City Comic Con, have Fox, since now it's Disney, now they have, I guess, an access to that Disney Skrilla, that money. Yeah. Get the push out there. Get some cool stuff. And things set
it's
up
hard
for the
to do individual stuff because even the stuff eventually it falls apart. It's hard to do. Outside of Star Wars and Star Trek, I haven't seen it last long. It's just hard to do.
Yeah, but they also brought up doing, I think the only thing that could happen is I know there's a lot of big Orville podcast YouTubers maybe doing like a big live chat, live stream, and then have guests come on and then have like parts like that. I think that's probably more realistic. But I know there's the Planetary Union podcast. Those guys,
follow them on Twitter.
They're probably one of the bigger ones. But yeah, they're probably more all about that. I see myself, I see us, our show as where I feel myself. I'm a foot soldier in this whole battle.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
And I just want to spread the good word. I'm knocking on doors. Have you heard the word of the Orville? I just want people to watch good sci-fi.
Yeah. And
this is one of them.
I'm hoping the convention we go to coming up next month, Phoenix Fan Fusion has panels on Orville because I'll go to them. I really will because I just love this show. So
much. They haven't released the scheduling yet for panels and stuff, but
which is weird.
Yeah, and I hope because the vendor hall, the Phoenix Fan Fusion is huge.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm hoping I see some Orville stickers and patches.
Yeah, if it's cheap, if it's a good price, I shouldn't say cheap, but if it's a good price, I'll buy it.
I'm not paying $10 for a patch. I'm not doing it.
That's insane.
But if there's some stickers and buttons and things, I always get, of course, unofficial merchandise. But I want to get all the badges.
Yeah, I wanted it the first year, but I knew it wasn't going to be a lot because it was still kind of new. But I knew this second year, there's no way. There's going to be some stuff there.
So, thanks everyone for the comments. They makes the show possible. The show would not exist without commenters. And I love seeing the same names pop up. I love seeing new names. So spread the word. Hey, watch these guys' reviews. Leave a comment, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we will.
And I have said this from day one. And I've always, ever since I was back in my high school days when I would watch Deep Space Nine, can't wait for the next week at school so I can talk to my buddies about what happened on DS9. Now I can do it with everyone in the world.
Yeah, I love it.
And it's something I would have loved as a kid.
Oh my goodness.
But now I get to do it now, and it's great, and I still love it. Because I still love sci-fi. Will always be in my heart. Till I draw my last breath, I'm going to love science fiction.
Yep.
And you guys have some great insights, different viewpoints. I can see where people didn't like certain aspects, and I can understand it.
Yeah.
But
I thought people weren't going to like this episode at all. I don't think everyone loved it.
For the most, this show has legs.
Yeah.
And it really, really does, and it stands on its own, and
it's amazing. But another thing I want to say too, wouldn't that be funny? I was commenting about this too. Since Hollywood has a theme park, she has like a little Orville thing, just to be stupid.
It's a little tiny one,
little tiny part where they're playing 9 to 5, and you see them.
That's just like,
wouldn't that be the best?
Someone needs to go to Dollywood in a Mocklin cosplay to be there. Someone's got to
female cosplay would be perfect.
Someone's got to do it. And they're going to be at Dollywood like, what the hell is this person doing? But we'll get it, and we'll love you for it.
I love every bit of it.
But I just I've been if there's any type of cuts out during these videos, because I've been allergies have been really bad. So if you hear a sneeze or a sniffle, just I apologize.
Oh, I get like this every time.
These episodes, when I do them, it literally gives me more energy.
Oh yeah,
because I love talking with you guys.
As opposed to Discovery, it drains my energy. I'm like done.
What do I want to say? The motivation may be low, but once I start reading the comments and I get more excited the more I do, because I love conversation, and I think science fiction.
And then you already think, when great science fiction is amazing. It's just amazing.
But keep the comments coming. We only have a couple more episodes. Hopefully we get an announcement, maybe at Comic-Con in San Diego. Everything gets announced at freaking San Diego, and maybe we get that next season.
I don't think I'd ever go to San Diego, but if I went to San Diego Comic-Con, I would wait in line for 15 hours to go to the Orville.
Yeah, there's some ridiculous waiting, but there was a Orville thing, and it was going to have like Seth and everyone there. I'd probably wait for that.
I'd wait in line for that. I would, definitely.
But thanks for all the comments. Like, I love you guys. Everything, none of this would be possible without you.
Yeah.
So, if you guys, I hope you guys can get, I'm sincere when I say I love all you guys, because I really do.
Yep.
So, thanks for watching, guys. See you next week. See you tomorrow for the next episode. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
15 PCA.
See you guys out.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15 Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.